Hello YouTube, this is Mr. Shelby here, and today we're going to be talking about what to do and setups for the Colosseum Gaiden, the little mini one. So let's get started. So this is the setup I was using in the beginning, where I didn't know what was gonna go on, so I decided to go this null technique setup. And well, right here I was kind of looking forward to see what what metals I could use, so I decided to go for the illustrated aqua version B by my party member binary binary binary. So I decided to go in, like, for me this is all like, um obviously now this is a voiceover, but originally it was all like, without not knowing what it was. I went in like head first pretty much, so I didn't read up about anything on it. So right there I saw that it was like the spell master, whatever the hell that heartless is called, that buffs up everybody out there it hit. So I decided to get out, go out and put in 0 instead of KHD Sora, and right there I decided to use Ventus HD, mainly because it also had a air minus 60 defense. So yeah. Also, if you guys are able to hear like a fan in the background, sorry about that. It's just that it's super hot, and without it I actually start to sweat buckets. So yeah, it's actually at the low setting. It's able to. So yeah, like this one, I unlike the other clips, I really didn't have to fit around with much. I got it down in one turn. So yeah, so pretty much it went as follows. I used Kyrie to buff myself up, of course, and then obviously 0 was used to debuff all the enemies. Sure, it also removed a lot of all the debuffs that supposedly were there, but with my stat booster Shion, I was able to kill off the healing enemies. And then with Aqua B, I was able to finish off the Wicked Witch of the West. And yeah, pretty much that one was the easiest one for me, at least. So keep in mind for that. For this one, you're gonna have to use a debuffer. All the other ones you don't have to. They're pretty much as is. So yeah, I was just collecting it, and sadly you only get 60 jewels out of this. So if you guys are thinking it's gonna be like the actual like the bigger Colosseum Gaiden, the one that has like 15 quests, where you get 6,000 jewels, it probably won't happen. If anything, I'll probably release during the anniversary if they're that sadistic to us. So yeah, for some reason I'm not sure why there's like these long ass black spots in between missions. So this one's like the adventure. I had to delete some enemies, and I already managed to get, right, as you guys see here, one of the Twilight Thorn medals. I was also going down trying to look at and see what I needed, what else I needed to sell, and all that good stuff. So yeah. Also, you guys want to know what, like, if it has any skills, or like if they're stat boosted, I'll pretty much put in frame after this, because this is, I still haven't voiced over yet all of it. So to show you guys like whether or not it's stat boosted, has like any special traits and all that. So yeah. I'm not sure what I was doing here, because like you also notice that there's a lot of long pauses. And I think that was because since I was in the laundromat while recording this originally, I kind of had to do stuff. I'm not too sure anymore though. So yeah, like in this one, like I thought there was gonna be like like either the adventure was gonna have all the like a lot of buffs on it, or there was gonna be like a spell master or spell book or that heartless that buffs up to your opponents. So I decided to go in and go to the safe route and use zero to debuff any buffs if there were any, which they weren't. So and there won't be any more. From here on out. So yeah. Also, something I'd like to say is that sadly this is one of the Colosseum Gaiden uh, variations where you sadly can't turtle your way through it. So right here, I was like, oh, I was like, oh, I saw that it was only one, so I was like, oh, probably like using that metal, but I was like, I'll go see and check all that. So I decided to go in. And also, I forgot to mention that I was also using a just plain old Riku X EX. Without any buffs or anything, so yeah. And sadly, even with second chance, this setup won't work because you're gonna need something to help you buff up your character. So I'm gonna just spoil it now that I did end up using Vexen B. I was lucky enough to roll a double attack on it, so I get +2 per turn for both magic and speed defense. And by the end of like the third or second one, I'm pretty much unkillable. But yeah, I see that zero wasn't necessary, so I decided to change him for Vexen. I probably should have sped up through this. I sped up through some other parts of it, but not this one for some odd reason. Because I was like, oh, it's still probably too early, or like that's still early enough in the video where I guess people wouldn't be all that bored, hopefully. And also pretty much to show you guys like some of the setups things I did. So yeah, we're 7 minutes in. So yeah, this and this is actually the setup that I did end up using, and ended up, I think, helping me win. Except the fact that I messed up and put Riku EX instead of Sephiroth EX, because Sephiroth EX deals with way more damage than Riku. So if you guys have a Sephiroth EX as a friend shared medal, you guys could pretty much follow it, and you guys will still be good. Or even if you have your own Sephiroth EX, like that'll be better, because then you could use another medal to help you out there. So yeah, now with Sephiroth EX in hand, I went through this entire thing where I used up all my medals. I'm not sure why I just said that, because obviously I'm gonna use all my medals, but so yeah, like after I use up like the first turn, I sped this clip up so that it wouldn't be as boring. So yeah, I think after the Sephiroth, there you go. So yeah, like it's sped up now, just so that you guys don't have to go through the entirety of just seeing me do that. So yeah, also that little quick thing you did see, I did use burst as you can see from like the corner not showing it. And right there, I was checking to see how many turns was it, real quick, because I keep on constantly forgetting how many turns do I need to do in order to get the actual rewards. So yeah, this one actually kind of took me a couple of tries to get right. I originally went with an all magic setup, but as you guys there see, if you have like a really good what do you call it, power setup where you could use 0.2 nominate HD and then like a copy key art on Sephiroth EX, you could quite possibly easily two turn this. So yeah, I sped it up here because this was a failed attempt. Uh, my downloaded Daisy has double attack, so that's why you guys saw me use it twice. There was no trickery there with a key art, like a copy key art. And as you guys saw there, yeah, it was a pretty much a bust for that one. So yeah. And then I decided to like I forget. I thought like I was swiping to the left. I was thinking about that one at that moment, which is what I ended up using Stroke of Midnight. But I decided to go for this setup, where I used again Illustrated Aqua version B in order to, I guess, do single target damage to the I forget the name of that Heartless. And then second chance didn't activate there. So I couldn't really see if that setup really would have helped. But I know for a fact that it probably wouldn't. But still, it's probably a setup that if you guys want to use, that's why I also kept all the failed attempts to see if these setups are quite possibly useful for anybody who might be able to use it. So right here, I think I was searching for something, and I noticed Dr. Omega's uh, what do you call it? Final Form Shion. So I think in the end, that's what spurred me to use Stroke of Midnight. Was it Lazy X piece or what? Then it reminded me that, oh yeah, I was like, oh shit, yeah, I forgot about that. I key Stroke of Midnight because it has all of it, and then it also has I'm able to use my level 31 Stroke of Midnight to pretty much overpower any enemy. And then right here, I saw my stat boost is 0.2 Riku. Or is it a little bit later? Where I decided to
use it. Yeah, it was right here. And you guys might be wondering, wait, where the fuck did I get that boosted Riku? Well, I wasted all my jewels in the Sephiroth EX banner, and one of my two metal pools was a stat boosted Riku. So I decided to merge my normal Riku, 0.2 Riku, with this one, and then like another extra I've gotten in a couple extra pools to guilt it and transfer over the skills. And I never really, since I really don't have a point for him other than the niche like thing to get +7 on both power and gen attack. I really didn't have him in a priority to max skill, and so now so I went back in there again because I forgot to switch him around. That way Shion will get max attack on it. And then I decided right here for some odd reason to put a SP2 plus attack boost 3 on this stat boosted Dark Riku. Also, something I will say, I won't be getting the Stitch boards anymore. I have enough jewels to get it, but I won't be getting it because really the skills aren't all that great. And even though I really do love Stitch, he's probably gonna come back sooner or later for cheaper. So, if like they do like a like somewhere down the next year or so, if they do like reprint avatar parts. So right here, I decided like the first run, I think, to use Final Form. I mean HD Shion EX, and as you guys are gonna notice, it's gonna speed up, and that's because that setup, while it did kind of work, uh, I didn't have the required amounts of defense to survive more than 2 turns. So if you guys are able to 2 turn like these, the last two cats, then you guys are gonna be able to use the setup properly. But since I wasn't able to 2 turn them, I decided to end up and switch it around. Funny enough, I ended up not using 0.2 Riku anymore after this point. I decided to go in again for Vexen just uh, because of the defense boost 2. So I was able to. So I'll be able to survive more than at least 2 rounds. And that was pretty much the only other modification I made other than choosing Sephiroth as my friend metal. So right here, yeah, I was like probably choosing to see what other options I have, and I really didn't have that, so I decided just to go for Sephiroth EX. And well, the rest is pretty much history. Right here, I also didn't. I sped it up because although this method did work, what ended up happening was that my second chance didn't proc, so I didn't want you guys to go see it thinking it was gonna go and like waste some more time on this video. So I ended up going back into the crap, what's the name of it again? I decided to end up going back into the quest with the same setup. And the second time around, I was able to defeat the event, the event, the last quest. So something that I would want to add, if you guys can and are able to, try to focus on, with AOE obviously, like I'm doing, uh, to kill off the bottom rank cat, because that one does heal up the mobs when you don't kill them. Like when its counter goes down, it does heal mobs. So if you guys can, go for the kill on that one. So right here I sped it up to show, just so like you guys could see. And yeah, like it's crucial to kill off the second one. Because if not, I think you could also die. And also the only reason why you shouldn't really kill the power one is because it really doesn't do anything once its counter goes down. It just buffs itself up. And there you go. I actually finished this one. And then managed to get the moonstone, the lunar stone, the the uh, the evil upgrade stone, the reverse keyblade upgrade stone. I'm not sure whatever people call it. Uh, but yeah, I think I've managed to get every single lunar stone minus one, and that was in like one Colosseum Gaiden where I wasn't able to finish it at all because of like the triple archers in the single run. Yes, it pulled.